Hi, I'm John with Detroit Go Nano, and you're tuning in to the RPR podcast. 2 dad jokes a day for like a year, literally. One day she walked in, I said, "Hey, Courtney, you like my new shoes? Look at these. You like them?" She's like, I don't care about your shoes. I said, "Look at these," but I seem to be having a problem. I swear, I think I got them off a drug dealer. And she's like, and I had to follow her because she's walking. I said, I think I did get them off a drug dealer because they're clearly laced and I've been tripping all day. Then she tries to get into the refrigerator. I said, stop, what are you doing? You gotta knock on that refrigerator before you get in there. I said, there could be a salad dressing. Are you kidding me?
Oh my Lord.
I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot a shot.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Real People in Real Estate podcast, where we talk about the real shit and not about real estate. I'm one of your hosts, Brooke Jones, aka the Millennial Agent.
What's up, guys? It's your girl, Tyra Nicole.
Hey, everybody. I'm Nicole Pay, and today we have real estate investor agent Steve Unruh. Thank you so much. I was going to say so much more, but I'm waiting for you to correct me.
She's nervous.
I was. You made me nervous. So it's investment property solutions.
That's correct. Yeah.
Oh, see, you can't even correct me. I got it. I just didn't want to say it out loud.
But you said it twice, and that's the intent.
There's more. Okay, investment property solutions. Better, huh? I said it for the third time. Thank you so much for being here.
Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
No, thank you. I really am excited about this.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I came all the way down. I got down here at what? 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Yeah.
So you said you came from Oxford.
Mm-hmm.
Driving was, you left at 4 o'clock.
Yep, that's correct.
Traffic was like what?
It's easy.
Was it easy? And
Not
then where'd you go?
northbound.
Did you have a couple beers?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Where at? Go ahead and plug it.
One of my favorite joints down is Detroit Brewery. So
Yes,
I love that.
we go there a lot.
Detroit Brewery or Detroit Beer Co.? There's a difference.
That's true.
Oh, I was thinking about Beer Co.
Yeah, that's true. Where'd you go?
Detroit Brewery.
Yeah, it's different.
We do Detroit Beer Co.
You're not saying that wrong on purpose.
He said if you say something wrong, you'll remember it.
You'll
because
remember
you have to correct it, and it's something with the brain.
Well, we've said Detroit Brewery and Detroit Beer Co. several times, so
That's
you're
correct.
welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So you came here with a binder, and I'm going to ask you. I told you I was going to ask you, and you told me it was none of my business, but I'm doing it again because we're on camera. What you got in there?
I have a thing that keeps me organized,
That's your
keeps
life?
my goals,
Okay.
and write down notes.
Mm-hmm.
So because I'm old
Yeah.
and I have to remember things,
Okay.
and I keep it all right here. Right.
I love it. I'm a paper person too. Everything's
Yeah.
on paper.
Yeah.
Are you like a type A person?
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Oh.
Not a type B. No. Not even close. Not even close.
Type
I
A
need to
as
know
far
your
as
life path number at this point.
Oh, you want to ask him his life path number? Do you
Do you
want
know
to do
anything
that?
about life paths?
We talk about life path numbers.
Life path? No,
Yeah.
I never heard that. So, but go ahead. So
Go ahead, Tyra. It's all your sheet. Get your phone out.
please.
Just do a calculation.
Yeah. When's your birthday?
Are you okay with disclosing your
No,
birthday?
okay.
So we do need the full birthday.
Yeah, the full. Like
And
the,
we need the correct one, not the wrong
My
one
birthday?
on purpose.
Yes.
18 October 70.
Oh.
So,
10, 18.
no, 18. No.
Wait.
1970.
Okay, hold on.
18.
That's a military way of doing it.
That's
So
a military way. So
I know.
it's
10,
08.
18, 1970.
Were you in the military?
Yes.
Oh, we haven't done
Oh, okay. Do you know that it's actually...
that. 9.
Yeah,
He's
9.
a 9.
I know that.
The Grand Master.
You're a grand. Yeah,
So
you're
you
a
did
9.
know that.
I did.
You.
So you lied and said
do.
you didn't intentionally.
Because
So
I
you
wanted to
really
go
know-
through it. But I forget what it is because I've heard it. Look, I'm more of an analytic, right? If you want to get into personalities. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
especially in the 5
We
personalities.
see that
right?
with the
Yeah.
notes.
Right. Analytics. So that stuff there I think is kind of hokey.
Well, you can be an
I know you guys will sit there and
analytical.
go, but I'm just telling you. You know,
but
you
you can
look
be
like
that and be any life path. It
Yeah.
doesn't really have to do with your personality.
I hear you.
It's more so who
So
you
you've been
are
told this
deep
before.
within.
Mm-hmm.
That you were 9, the grand
correct.
Do you have a lot of wisdom?
I have no idea.
You do.
Listen, we were talking before, and it's already. I can see
That's
the
because I'm
grandmaster.
old. I'm 53 years old. I've lived a half a century without dying.
You're 53?
Are called old
That's I would
souls.
never put 50. Would you guys have put? I would have never put to 53.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is Will Pay. That's my husband. He's
okay.
one of our core members.
We're
We
just
already
very
started.
casual
We're
right
very
now
casual
with
with
this
Will,
interview.
Steve, Will.
Nice to meet
How
you.
you doing, sir?
Drink? No?
What's that?
No, not
Tequila makes him
No,
fight.
he wanted
a beer.
Don't
He
know, I
wanted
didn't-
a beer and he
He
didn't
really
tell
wanted
us.
a beer, but he didn't tell us.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm gonna see if I can find one.
Okay, all right,
I
all right,
have
got
your
this.
beer.
Okay,
So-
wait. So speaking of military, do you guys know that is Female Veterans Day today? National
I
Female
did
Veterans
not.
Day.
Did not
It
know
is.
that.
It is.
I didn't
didn't
know
know
it was a
Females
thing.
veteran. Well, all you female veterans, thank you very
Thank you
much
for
for,
your
all your
service.
service.
Yes.
So you were in the military for how long?
About 4 years.
How old were you?
I came right out of high school and went into the
What
military.
what made it? Like what was like, yes, here we go.
Oh, I wanted to be in the military since I was as long as I could remember.
Why?
What gave
yeah,
you that
why?
though? Yeah.
It's just a drive. You can't, let's probably go through this interview. You'll see that things will enter my head about things that I just like, this is
Gotta
what I'm
do it.
doing, and I'm doing it.
You go all fours.
And that's it.
Yeah.
It's
Was it
just that's
someone
what
you
I'm
knew?
doing.
Master.
Someone you knew was in the military, or
I come from a real long back history of military. Like I can go back. We have a stack of letters from the Civil War that my so many great grandfather fought in the North. The Civil War, got captured in Andersonville. Tough son of a gun. My uncle was there, and he he back in the day. We, like right now, we know who you are, right? ID, social security number. Back then they didn't. So how many great uncles? He was in New York. He got enlisted in the Army, right? And so he volunteered, and that's when he really volunteered. So he went down there, and they said, well, you're going to be a foot soldier. He didn't want to be a foot soldier. He wanted to be in the cavalry, so he assumed another cat's name. And then guess what? That cat deserted on him. So then when they get like this, when he made it through the war, so he's assumed this other guy's name. The other guy deserted, and you get I think $50 or something for being in the Civil War, for like a pension, that they gave him.
$50.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I think that was a lot of money back then. Think
That's
about
true.
it,
That is true.
It was
Yeah.
what, 1865? You're talking about 1900s.
Oh, yeah.
$50. That's a long time.
Yeah.
So then when he died, my so many great aunt went to get the the pension thing. Goes, no, he's a deserter. So they had to figure it all out and say that they switched names.
So you could assume someone's name and
Think about it. There was nothing came into 1910, right? That's when the consensus.
Wow.
This was
When
in
you-
the 1800s.
Yeah. So Civil War is
we're
1865.
talking about military
Yeah.
and his family in the military
Yeah.
and so someone, your uncle,
Somebody great. This one. Yeah,
one point great uncle took
Yeah.
someone else's name who deserted the military, took his name so he could get in because he didn't want to be a foot soldier.
He wanted to be in the cavalry.
He wanted to be in the cavalry,
And
so he
then-
took someone else's name and went.
And then the other guy deserted, so it looked like the last name was Horde. He looked like he deserted, but he didn't. Anyway, he got
That's
off.
crazy.
Yeah.
So how does that? How does that? This is crazy to me. How does that affect the lineage though?
Nothing.
It doesn't. You don't have to be attached to that name.
No, they got it all figured out because there was my great aunt that lived after that, and they figured they went in there and told
That
them.
is interesting. That
Right.
someone just I want to be this person.
So what branch of the military were you?
Army.
The Army?
Army.
Okay.
And how many layers deep army wise?
What do you
with
mean?
your family, how many people? This was great. How many greats uncle? But how many layers deep from you with the army? Was your dad your?
My dad was a
your
Marine.
grandfather.
My dad was a Marine, so he got kicked. He
dad
was a
was a
Mennonite.
Marine.
He was a Mennonite. Got
Okay.
kicked out of the church at 16 for smoking a cigarette and going to a movie. Do you know what Mennonites are?
No.
No.
You know what the
Heard of
Amish
it.
are?
It's
you know
a
what the
religion.
Amish, right?
What
Yeah,
is
it's a
it?
religion.
It's a religion.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So
Okay.
you know what the Amish is, right?
Oh,
Yes,
So
yeah.
so my dad's side of the family is Mennonite. You don't watch TV, you don't do this, you don't do that, right? It's like Amish, but
Is
not
that
quite.
Jewish?
No, that's Christian.
Oh, okay.
It's Christian. It's a Christian base, but they just don't.
So they're yeah, we have to dive into this because
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
very confused.
it's a lot
So they're
going on.
Mennonites, which is comparable to Amish.
Yeah.
But they're a separate religion from Amish.
That's correct.
What makes it different?
Because the Amish will not have motorized vehicles.
Okay.
And there's different sects of Amish too.
Okay.
So there are in Michigan. So you have the ones in Clare and then the one over in Harrison, and there's different ones, right? So Amish you'll be in overalls a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They make their own clothes. They build barns like you can't believe and other things. And they don't drive. Mennonites will drive vehicles and so on and so forth.
What
Does
about
one of
all
them-
electricity? I'm sorry.
Yeah, electricity. I was going to ask that.
Yeah, 'cause-
about
So,
electricity.
so my dad, because they're poor, they didn't grow up with electricity. That's because they're too poor. So but Amish won't have it, but they'll have it out in their shop. So
I didn't know that either.
It's hypocritical.
Yeah.
It's like they will have email. I'm like, I go to my uncle who was Amish, and I'm like, so let me get this straight. Inside the house, no electricity and anything else.
That's
Over
awful.
there, I'm like, well, Stephen, he'll quote some Bible scripture thing, and I'm
Yeah.
like, so to go back, this is how interesting it is. So my uncle was a Mennonite. He really liked me. He'd go to my wrestling tournaments, and we'd go fishing. And when he went fishing, you went at like dark 30 to dark night, not even get off the boat. And I was his pallbearer, which is a big no-no in the Mennonite because I wear a tie. They don't wear ties. So,
What's wrong with ties?
so my cousin.
Yeah, like this is so deep. I'm like
It's just
invested.
simple people. So my cousin comes up to me, and he says, I went to New York, the city. And they live in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, yeah.
He says, I go. We went to New York, and they got these things that go underneath that go underneath the city called subways. I go, really? I'm like, oh my God. My dad's over like, Steve, stop it. And I'm like, I said, do you ever see those planes that fly? He goes, yeah. Do you ever think one of them would just kind of like pull up on it and just fly to the moon? I always wondered that.
Yeah.
That's how simple they are.
Wow. That is crazy. So
That's crazy.
but you said though, like there were Amish people in your family and Mennonites.
Only my one uncle. He married in. He left the Amish.
Oh, okay, so he married in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so growing up, what was that like?
Yeah.
Oh, we were relatively normal. I mean, just when we went to my dad's side of the family, Christmas is a very solemn thing because Christmas, it's the birth of Jesus Christ. However, he's dying in a few months, right? Think about it, it's Easter. He's dying in a few months. This is not something we celebrate really a whole lot. But the regular everybody else thing, you put up a tree. And man, you were out there commercial. Well, we know what that's like, right? So you go to their place, no TV, and it's the worst Christmas to go for dinner ever. You're just like, and it's like the kids are to be seen and not heard, that type of thing. So it wasn't fun. No.
So you had two different types of families. Like on your mom's side, they celebrated, were they Christian?
Yeah.
So they celebrated Christmas, and then you go over to your dad's side, and
Well, okay, so if you're Mennonite, you're not part of the church, you get shunned. You will not. My brothers, my uncles could come all the way up from Georgia and Florida and Kansas and be within a mile of our house and not even stop by
Yeah.
because we are not part of that church.
got it.
You'd hear about it months later.
And were you ever part of the church? Were you ever part of the church?
No, not
Okay.
me. My dad got kicked out when he was 16
Oh, okay.
for smoking cigarettes.
Oh, yeah, you said
cigarettes,
that.
smoking
And the
cigarette,
only
yeah,
time-
and going to the movies.
Yeah, and go to the movie. So they ask him because they'll even go like it's so funny. Like my aunt, she died and she's dead now, but we had the TV on the wall like that, right? And if we look, you over there and the TV's there, she'd be like, and look because that's the devil.
So the TV is the devil.
So how much of your looking now?
It didn't influence me at all.
But how much of your family was a part of the Mennonites and?
My whole dad's side, but we never really saw him. So
Yeah, because you weren't a part of it.
So growing up, what was that like? I'm sure you had crazy stories because for
we
us,
didn't see him.
You didn't see him.
They don't.
that's true.
They won't. They'll shun you. Like
Associate.
if you're not part of the.
like shun you completely.
Yeah.
What was this is something I always want to know. What is it with electricity?
Yeah.
Why don't they have
that's
that?
a good question.
Why don't they use-
Anything about progress.
Oh, they want to stay like back in
But they have it in their
time.
shop, so.
I know. That's why I said, if you remember, I said it's hypocritical. They'll have the email out there in their shop now,
Yeah.
but
What is their shop? Like their
Like where
business?
they
wood
they-
shop.
woodwork.
they're
There are
all
a lot
big
of them.
small.
So all of them are-
woodworkers.
most are small
Chopping
businessmen or
wood?
something.
Yeah, and some
You never saw the Amish tables?
Amish tables are some of the most
Yeah.
not true.
gorgeous. No.
They.
Oh,
that is-
tell us more.
Okay. So since most
Yeah,
of the Mennonites are, we're gonna go through a whole thing about
We
Mennonite.
are.
That's
yeah.
not- I
We
don't
are
really
so
don't-
intrigued right now.
So yeah, they do good workmanship because that's how they make the living, right?
Yeah.
So, but however, you go to these Amish stores, they're not made by Amish.
They're not.
What
And
do
I
they
will
make?
tell you that you think you're gonna get it. Like for example, you go up there and you're like, my God, this is a solid oak Amish door, and I'm like, why would you buy a solid oak door? The solid oak door will warp. It will not work fine. It's not made by Amish. They're fooling you. It's marketing. It's lies.
Well, listen.
Why do
you
they
just
say Amish?
because
They trademarked it, and if I said this was the elixir from the Fountain of Youth, like every beauty product that Avon sells, you would buy it, and they do, right? Or try the nutrition
it's all
stuff.
marketing.
It's
So
a
Amish-
billion-dollar industry.
It is
Of
because
course
you
it
know
is.
how many people market like this is an Amish cabinet or anything
Yeah.
like because they.
What about the food? Is
Yeah.
that not true?
Oh my God, the food is awesome. They'll take the simplest things, like my aunt could make a heck of a pie, and my brother, I said, we gotta learn how to make this pie before she dies, and she would sit there like, and mind you, she had a third grade education. She worked at home, right? Literally, they
Yeah.
pulled her out of third grade, and she was like, well, take this flour and be like, oh, well, stop. She didn't have a measuring cup because they did this since they were in third grade. You just kind of
Yeah.
like eyeball it, even though baking is very precise. She's over there, no, you gotta do this. Stop, woman. We gotta, because she was.
I don't do well with that.
It's a
my
science.
husband he went to culinary arts and he looks over my shoulder and I get so annoyed because I'm like I have to. Where's the recipe? I need to know. I need a third of this, a
don't
fourth
do
of that.
recipes
You
either.
don't do recipe. It gives me straight anxiety to not cook without because I'm like, what if? And he's like, just taste it. What's it missing? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it's been doing it forever. See, like,
Yeah.
and you can sit there and eyeball
like
it. See,
exactly-
But your
Like,
aunt was like that too, though. Like
I mean,
she could
think about it.
eyeball everything.
Have you been doing it since your third grade?
Oh my gosh! Like
yeah, since
I mean,
since
11, 12 years
Yeah.
old.
yeah, there you go. So that stuff like that.
I the concept to me is so. I know it sounds bad, and I'm so sorry. Like especially being Italian because my grandmother cooked, my godmother cooked. I don't have that. Is it like is it learned? Is it
Yeah.
is
Sure
it
it is.
natural?
Sure, it is.
Did you guys figure out the recipe? before
Yeah,
you
did you
passed?
figure
We
it
had
out?
to measure it out, but you can still.
Make it.
There was a
exact.
Still
touch.
couldn't. I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
My brother can do way better than I can, but I can't bake very well. But I'll tell you that he gets very close to it, and but it's not hers. I'll guarantee you.
So let's talk a little bit more about the Army.
Sure.
Were you in basic training?
Of course, so everybody goes through basic
Basic training?
Yeah.
Okay. I know it's either boot camp or basic
Same.
training.
See, yeah, I
One's a
don't know
slang
anything
term.
about that.
Okay.
It's the same thing. Boot camp
Yeah.
and
Oh,
basic.
what's the slang?
Yeah.
Boot camp.
Boot camp.
Boot
Okay.
camp.
So the technical word is
Basic
basic,
training.
training.
And how long
Okay.
is that?
8 weeks. Everybody goes through it, but they're not all the same. So
So what is it all about when you do that?
just learning Army stuff. I mean, you're making me go way back. So
We are. That's what we do.
Well, you
I
went
mean-
back to the 1800s.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's fair
think they
enough.
had
Thank
basic-
you, Tyra. Fair
I will
enough.
tell you that basic training started way back with the Prussians, way before 1776, and they started marching. So that's way back, and that's where cadence calling and marching comes from, Prussia. So just so you know, it's a little historical
Okay.
nonsense for you. And but basic training, I did mine in Fort Benning because I was in the infantry. I wanted to be in the infantry, and this is where I went, and I had a blast for 4 years. And it's a hard life, but because you're out on the bush all the time, and I signed up for everything because why not, right? And we
The
wanna do
fact
this?
that you said you had a blast, though, like
I did.
so many people come back, and I don't think they'll say the same story.
No,
so
they don't.
How much of it defined you? Like, I think that's amazing that you actually say you had a blast.
Yeah, because I
What?
did.
Well, what about it though?
Because
You had
it
a
was
love
tough.
for
I
it.
mean,
It sounds like
what's that?
it sounds like you really had a love for that.
Yeah,
because-
I mean, look, you go there. I mean, how many times would you get paid to go down to a survival jungle expert? This JOCTC Jungle Operation Training Center in Panama, and survive for 30 days in the jungle and see snakes that you've never seen before, see
I don't think that
monkeys.
sounds fun to me.
See, you
Just
go-
I
saying.
disagree because I can feel
There's nothing. I saw a
thing-
garter snake
it's
go
not
into
just
our
that.
pool, and I was like, "Oh my god, get the garter!" Like none of that sounds fun to me. So where does that come from? Like, is it just within you? Like you're
The
like,
history, I guess.
this is like adrenaline.
No, I think you're born with it.
Is it?
I think
Because I like
Well,
to
it's
jump off
passed
cliffs
down.
and go skydiving, and that's adrenaline for me. Is it an adrenaline rush?
I don't know. Nicole, maybe I'm just a bad motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what?
Just kidding,
We're
just
gonna
kidding.
trademark that. He's the
No,
best.
that's already been trademarked. It was
Who said
Samuel
that?
Jackson had that on his wallet,
Okay.
right?
Well,
yeah.
I will take that because I
tried
like.
No, I'm not that
No,
way.
like where like nothing about hanging out with snakes for 30 days sounds fun to me.
Okay, look.
survival. He like the
Right.
survival aspect of it.
Okay,
it sounds
so
like.
so it's not so much that it was fun. It's a challenge because
Challenge.
it's tough.
You like the challenge.
It's a
And I got paid
challenge.
to do it. It's something you'll never ever get, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go out there and you see things like this. You see this tree and it looks like, oh my God, there's all this fruit on it, right? And it's like these two oversized cherries. I won't say what they were on, but they kind of gave a slang term for them. They're kind of melded together.
We
And
know.
if you eat it, second degree burns down your throat. So you wouldn't even think of anything like that in the United States. Then you go out there and chop off some bamboo. You can't just do any bamboo because some of it, when you take the water out, it'll give you this fiber and really irritate your throat. You know, and then and you go on this hill. You think, okay, I'm gonna set up my observation post on this hill, and this hill is tall. You know, you're climbing up, it's all muddy. Rains twice a day, almost by the watch because you're in the, near the equator. 6 o'clock and 5 o'clock. You can almost set your watch to it. And at night, your night vision goggle doesn't work because you got triple canopy. It's all dark. Nothing, starlight's not coming through. And it's really cool, right? So you go on this hill and you're laying there and you're like, what the hell's going on? You got these huge ants. It's a big ant hill. It's huge.
I hate
You're thinking ant
ants.
hills. How big is an ant hill?
For me, it's
Like about this big, right? Or somewhere
Steve,
in
there's
small ant.
nothing that you're
I
telling
saw
me
huge
still
ant
sounds fun.
So then
Like,
you go through and you're like, okay, everybody's seen like a beehive, right? Or
Yeah,
hornet's
wasp
nest?
nest. Yeah.
So they have these ones, you see them in like something out of the island. They're like huge, like this big around. They're bees, those little killer bees. They will come out and you're walking through going,
Killer
okay,
bees.
just be quiet
sounds
because
like a
I know
video
nobody
game.
will chase me through it. Right? And then you start hearing the chirps of a caiman and you're like, okay, nobody's going to come over here because you're trying to keep away from the enemy, right? Enemy, right? And so, in the chirps of a caiman, you like, what sound does a caiman make? What do you
I
think?
don't even know what a caiman
I don't
is.
know either. Like,
know?
I'm just.
Do you know what it is? Like,
It's a type of crocodile alligator.
oh well, shit. Okay, well,
Crocodile. Crocodile.
But-
They don't make much noise, do they?
Do
Yeah,
they
they chirp.
make-
They
they
chirp.
chirp?
Yeah.
They
Croc-
all make crazy
Yeah.
noises.
Okay,
I
how do you
make
know
this.
it's a caiman?
Because I've heard the noise. They tell you this,
So specific crocodiles chirp.
So you
Well, they all
automatically
do.
knew it was a
Because they
caiman.
don't have a vocal. It's, they swallow their food whole, so it's just this chirp of this noise. Yeah.
Wow.
So it sounds like you lived this. Like you
Yeah.
accidentally cut down the wrong
Like-
bamboo tree.
Yeah, well,
Did
no, they
you?
tell you that before. No, I knew to cut down the green one, but I didn't do any of like the yellow ones. And basically, I just went without. I just had to like.
So you like the adventure of it
Yeah.
all.
It has to be
Yeah.
because there is
Yeah.
zero part of that story that sounds
I gotta rush
fun.
just hearing them talk about it.
I did. I was
fun.
like getting anxious.
But I want to go.
I
It's
hear
fun.
like the
Yeah, but it's
crocodiles
fun.
and the bee. Like I just
Killer
literally
bees.
swapped a wasp nest off our pool today, and I was like, I had my electric bug zapper, and I was like trying to kill all the wasps that were going after me, and I was in panic mode. None of that, like this big, none of that.
You
They're
are
huge.
ready
They're
for
huge.
it.
And you're just
None
like,
of that sounds
1,
fun.
2, 3. I remember seeing them right in my mind. I'm like, oh my god. And
But
I'm
it's
like,
such art. Like
I've dreamed
like,
of this.
no, not really.
Who's dreamed of
I
this?
saw this on like Land of the Lost, I think, or something.
So but if you look at it, like it's pure, like I don't enjoy it, but I appreciate
Yeah, sure.
the thought of it because even this giant, like the girls and I, when we drive to school, there's a wasp nest that's on one of the lines, and
Yeah.
we look at it every day, and we see how much it's grown, and it's kind of like enjoyable for us. It's silly, but Zoe, our 11-year-old, will be like, "Mom, look at it, it's getting bigger." I can appreciate it, but it doesn't not fun. There's no fun part about
Well,
it because
okay. Let me help you with something. Next time, take a broom handle, Go up there and just give it a good shake.
Yeah, no, I'm all
Count
set
to
with that.
30 and then see where all of a sudden that you'd be like, when you come down from, you're like, I need that again.
The nest I killed
Don't
today.
give Will any ideas.
Don't give it. The nest I killed off our pool was this big, and there was literally 10 of them. That with my electric bug zapper, I was going nuts. It was like this
Who has
big.
electric bug zappers though?
We go
I've never
camping
heard
a
of
lot.
that.
We go camping a lot.
I didn't know they had those.
Yeah, no,
about the
yeah.
adrenaline
Listen.
connected to it.
Ask your
Is it,
brother.
dopamine?
Ashley
Dopamine
hit
rush,
somebody
yeah.
with
I'm
gonna have to look
ask
into
your
that.
brother about that. Ashley hit somebody with the electric bug zapper at a
That
football
must have
game.
hurt.
No, she
So
did.
I just
She
had-
asked someone with it.
How am I
Yes.
doing so far? Because am I keeping away from real estate?
We are.
Yeah.
But
You're
are you
doing
going?
really
Is there anything in
way
your
far
notes?
off
Did
from
you
real
hit
estate.
anything
Not
in your
quite.
notes?
Not quite.
See, I
Not
told you.
quite.
I told you.
Okay,
that.
so let's get out of the military life.
Yeah, I have anxiety
Yeah.
about that.
After-
Holy
So
moly.
before I left the military, there's one thing we did was called, I'm pretty sure you got, how old are you guys?
29.
Were you guys
40.
born in,
We're in our
anybody
40s.
born in 1992 or 3?
Oh, we are way
95.
before that.
You remember?
You were?
Well,
Oh,
well, then you remember Operation Garden Plot.
not
Probably not.
Yeah, you do.
It's just like never
I
heard
bet
of
you
it.
will.
What's okay?
That
Tell
was
us
the
about
Rodney
it.
King when he got beat up.
Oh.
We were actually got deployed there. I sat on top of a
Wait,
hurricane
it was
Really?
for
called
several
what?
weeks while they
They
had
deployed
everything
an
going on.
army?
And from a kid
Oh.
from small town Michigan, milking cows in the morning before I went to school.
Yeah.
With the
All of a
riots
sudden, now
and
I'm
stuff?
down here in LA and talk about the gangs, which back then you guys are obviously too young. Like movies like Colors, I think it was,
Colors.
came out,
Yeah.
and you're like, "What's gangs?" You know, what I mean, I'm
Yeah.
from small town Michigan.
So
I'm-
how were you? How old were you at that
pulling
point?
udders
Was there?
at,
I didn't know
at
that.
3:30 in the morning. I'm pulling on
Yeah.
some teats on a cow for milk. I have no idea about this stuff, right?
So you guys were deployed
I
there
didn't
for like the
realize
riots
that.
and stuff that
Yeah.
was going on?
Yeah.
So wait,
I remember that.
we were
Rodney
born.
King
We were
riots.
born in the late 70s, early 80s. So we would have been what? What
in
year?
the 90s with the riots and stuff?
What
Yeah.
year was
Rodney-
that?
it
We
was
would have
like
been
in
in high
early
school.
90s.
I witnessed it. I just didn't know that there was a term.
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't
Yeah,
know.
I
It's
didn't
called
know.
Operation Garden Plot.
I had
You
no
look it up.
clue.
Yep.
Operation Garden Plot, and you were
And what did
deployed
you
to
do?
LA.
I sat on top of Burger King. Then we patrolled at night. We went out a little
Yeah,
bit.
because it was bad. I remember.
Yeah. And the Bloods and the Crips allegedly were tying their handkerchiefs together, unifying, but they came around and said, "We don't want to fight you." Like, so one day there's a bunch of people riding down there, like, you know, throwing stuff, and they had the local police department. Now remember, now think of this: you got infantrymen who've been trained to march, right? Disciplined. Their lines are breaking up about 2 blocks up, you know. Now think of that when all of a sudden we're going in, and we get the call to go in, and we're walking. Now you remember the movie 300?
Yeah.
When they just went, "Arr!" and they're like that. Now could you imagine you're one of those rioters out there, and you got 2 blocks down, you have a company of infantrymen that are disciplined with sticks and then the shields
Yeah.
that they got us. And they start marching, and you start hearing the calls like, "Company!" and you hear that, and you're like, "Company!" and they repeat, "Attention!" Who? And you're like, and all of a sudden, because then the police left because we were coming in, then all of a sudden you kind of see the rioters kind of go, yeah, they kind of got a little energy, and then all of a sudden they left, you know? It's
Yeah.
like,
So
it's like,
how many
we
would
never
you
came
say?
close. We went up there, and then they all disappeared.
But how many would you say were in this group? Like, how many were there
I don't
of
know.
you?
It's a whole company, so.
So yeah, like what
you
would
got
be the
4
number?
platoons, you got 4 platoons, and 4 platoons, you got 30 to 40 people in a platoon, yeah.
How many?
Wait, there were
platoons?
4 platoons of 30
Of
to
a
40.
company.
So you're talking like 160
Yeah.
men, women in
you
a
would-
line.
But you were like staggered in a thing, yeah.
Wow.
So-
I didn't know any. Like I guess
I had no clue.
Yeah, I don't want to
But
say
that was like a
ignorant to
single.
it.
Listen, that was a single incident because they were like, okay, we got them over because of what, and then we never even. They dispersed. It never even had
Okay.
contact.
So you
It
never
was
had
never
to
even
like
anything.
kill anyone or any of that. Or
There was nobody that was. We didn't even so much as even had conflict like they came trying breaking the barricades. That was a single incident that happened, and we were like, that was it.
But it's amazing. It doesn't. It's not talked about though, and that's what I think
I
is
didn't
like
know
so
that.
impactful for me because I'm
'Cause
listening
nothing
to
happened.
you. Even if nothing happened though, that is an impactful moment that I don't think social media is not going to show. Mainstream media is not going to show. But it's still an impactful moment of, I don't want to say empower. What's the word? What am I thinking? What's the word I'm looking for?
It goes back to Mormonism, saying that the television was the devil because it projected
A whole different
to us,
story.
it was a lot
Yeah.
worse.
True.
So that one incident that you're talking about, television, we're thinking that it's 100 incidents like that.
Right.
You know, so
For us, for me being there, all they had out there, we took over a shopping plaza where there was a grocery store and then like a little strip malls, like a Hallmark would be in there, and whatever would be in there. So that was ours. You saw people walking around. You want to talk about a boring time. That was the only exciting time. That was it. Some council members would come by with the news media and say, "Well, you got this under control," politician crap.
That's why
But you would, other than that, you just sat there and because I was in the scouts for the company scouts. So we sat in Burger King, which is, if you can imagine a Burger King being off in the corner of the parking lot, and then the rest of the stuff, ain't nothing go on. I mean, it was just like.
So are you
boy.
saying that it wasn't as bad as they made it seem,
my
or just
From your
from when you
perspective.
went there, they weren't really, they just saw you guys and just kind of scattered and weren't doing anything?
That's what I'd have to say. From
So
my
could it be
experience.
that the media did
That's-
make it worse than what it really was?
Well, they're trying to. Well,
I
that's what I
mean-
say now. But I don't know about the whole thing because TV wasn't around me.
yeah.
But because remember, I wasn't watching TV then. But I will tell you that. Are we surprised that media didn't do that to us? Are we surprised
They
they
definitely
didn't
made
push
that a
fear?
huge deal. I was young and I remember that it was something.
It was like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
So
when
they-
you
they
said
still
that,
do it- they still do it today. I'm
To-
not surprised.
And
at all.
honestly, we talk about mainstream media and the stuff that they put out there. We know is not 100% what it is. So we know that it had to be played to a certain level. But for you to say that, I was in awe because in my head I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this was like a main crazy thing, and you were like, we were kind of bored.
We were very bored. There was no conflict. People would come over to us and we'd talk to us. I was amazed. I mean, there was one called the Grape Street Gang. They were purple. They'd walk around. No big deal. They're not doing anything wrong, right? Just walking. There's one guy. I didn't know what I carried. My favorite gun was a 203, so I carried it. I did not know. I mean, everybody knows what the games and they have now. But think about go back to 1999. No internet, pre-TV. If you said what's an M203, people are like, I don't know what that is. Have no idea. This 14-year-old, that's an M203. I'm like, how do you know that?
right.
But at night you didn't see like pillars of smoke anywhere. If you just sat there, they had the normal helicopters that would fly around. If you went to LA, we see helicopters flying around Detroit metro area. That is either the sheriff's department or state police that fly around on occasion. But other than that, there's nothing going on. It was boring. It's like we couldn't wait to get back.
So do you speak your truth when people talk about it? Because I know that there's so many conflicting stories, even nowadays, on stuff that maybe you experience. Do you speak your truth and say like, that's not really what it was like? Or what is it like when people confront you or ask you about those
Nobody
type of
asked me
situations?
about that.
They
So,
really don't.
Nobody asked me. They don't even know what it is. If I told them about Rodney King or anything like that, they didn't,
Wow,
But
that's
it was huge. Yeah, it was.
that's
a huge
amazing
It is a
to me
huge
because
deal.
it is
Depends on where you're
it's
at.
a huge deal.
Well, they made it a huge deal.
No,
Right.
Now we
it
don't
was.
know
It
if it was actually that.
It was when LA had to be under the after that they had to be under what they call it, like a restructuring and reframing with the FBI because of the way they treated citizens in there, right?
Yeah.
After that,
yeah,
so with that
Now I'm
came
thinking
change.
all that was intentional.
right.
What
Like
do you mean?
a whole agenda.
There's always an agenda. I mean, we know this.
Like it was all probably like planned and put together.
You don't think there's an agenda for everything?
That's my brain.
Well, I think there's opportunities, and when people see opportunity, I don't think there's pre-planned. I mean,
It
maybe
seems
there is, but
pre-planned.
for Rodney to get beat up or somebody to get beat up, or are you talking about just the riots?
I mean the whole thing now.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it all together.
I don't think it. I think I agree with
With
you. Not-
media.
Yes.
absolutely,
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
sell fear.
Yeah.
I mean, think
Right.
about it. If I came into you guys there, what happened today? Man, nothing happened today. It was great. That doesn't sell anything. But I told you excitement about an adventure in Panama. He got excited about it. I could
Right.
sell that.
I mean, I can tell you about the news that
Yeah.
said that like a 1-year-old child got ran over in Detroit, or another 3-year-old got shot by a family. Like that's what goes through the Instagram. So we could talk about that, and that could make media or whatever be exciting
Yeah,
because that's stuff that they're
But you have to
posting.
think about it, like, why do people really get excited about stuff like that, or like want to hear about that? They've kind of like programmed people to want to hear like bad stuff.
I don't think they need to program people to be like, we are fearful.
Well, fear is
fear-
programmed.
We are genetically fearful anyway.
Yeah,
We're
but from
predisposed to being
programmed.
fearful because we have to be fearful. That's how we survive. If I know that if he got beat up or got bit by something over by Comerica Park, I'm trying to keep it local. I know not to go over there
That's true.
because he came back and told me he was a reporter. Right? Think about it.
That's true.
Yeah.
So after
Go ahead.
the military, what
Yeah.
was it like getting back into civilian life?
It was horrible because I went to college and I never assimilated. It was probably my worst.
Where'd you go?
Central. So I was like I did not enjoy it.
Really?
Was it
No.
hard adjusting?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't feel like they really do a great job of transitioning the military to civilian life.
I think it depends on who you are, you know.
Yeah.
And
So why was it a hard adjustment then? If
you know,
what made it hard for you?
well, I'd been wanting to be in the military, so I transitioned easily into the military. It wasn't like you see some guys in basic training because they get freaked out. They're crying because it's they got a drill sergeant yelling. And to me, I'm like, this is like home. This is great.
Yeah,
my
because you're used
God.
to it, your
They're
dad.
like yelling at me. I'm like, Daddy. I mean, it didn't. But that's life.
Yeah.
Right? You got it's not easy out here. And I don't sit there and look back on my parents treated me poorly or anything like that by any stretch of the imagination. But some guys are just. I don't know why they went in. I'm really surprised. I was surprised at some.
They were looking for something that maybe they didn't have. Do you see
I
that
don't know.
with people? Like,
Sure, everybody always tries to use somebody else's authority. They like say, even when you go to college, aren't you? If I went to University of Michigan, you'd come out and you go, I'm a Wolverine. Nope, you're just a cat that spent 4 years at a college and you got a degree and it says
you
you
know
have
what?
authority.
That's valid.
You're not you.
Yeah.
You are not a Wolverine.
Oh, I can act
You're wrong.
like I can. Do you guys understand that? Like, can you see? Like that is
People tie themselves
powerful.
to.
No, it is.
My authority
it
comes
is
from me.
so powerful because you're right. Because I work at U of M. Like that's my survival job, and I work there. And I always say like, "Oh, I work at U of M," and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you do!" Like it's not a big deal, but I can see where you say like people who graduate from certain Notre Dame, Duke, Yale. Like I'm tied to this person, but that's not who you are.
Nope.
And the military is the same way.
Absolutely.
That is.
But think
We're gonna
about
have
it.
to
If you want to go
quote- you guys
biblical,
were quoting that.
that is
Like, that is
If you want to
amazing.
go biblical, let's think of this way.
Yeah.
How did Jesus capture the demons?
What do you mean?
He put
Yeah.
him in the pig, right?
Huh?
He put him in the pig, right?
But he knew their name.
He knew their name.
Right.
What's your name? If I say your name, Nicole, what do? Did you not just kind of
Look.
peek up for a second?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you. I have control of you for that hot second. I am. You're your own authority. You have a name. You have your own authority. That's just how I look at it. It's a borrow.
That is pretty. We might have to talk about this after hours because
Yeah.
that is pretty deep.
But
and
it's
like,
true though. That's
no,
your
it's
identity. It's
valid.
nothing else.
Yeah.
They even go through psychology. You can say that I have authority of a degree from Central. I have authority degree from Oakland University. And whatever.
Yeah.
But I do not. I am my own authority.
So what are your degrees in?
I have a degree, a Bachelor of Science in psychology from Central, and I have a Master of Science in exercise science from Oakland University.
So you
That
stayed
makes
in.
sense.
Yeah, you stayed
you-
in. You stayed through it.
You stuck
No,
through it.
I broke, and then I came back several years
Oh,
later.
okay.
'Cause I
What
don't-
made you go back?
I don't know. One day I woke up and said, "This is what I'm going to do."
Fair enough.
No
and then
reason.
how does real estate tie? Because we're talking about like psychology and science and all this, and
Psychology
you're
plays
a
a
real
big part
estate
in it.
investor.
That's a good question. I
Like-
figured since for 21 and a half years, I sold rooms at 1200 North Telegraph. And when I wasn't selling rooms at 1200 North Telegraph, I was selling tickets.
Tell them what.
Tickets for
what
what?
kind of rooms?
Well, I
Very
said
sm-
tickets, and you said what room? So
They're very small rooms at 1200 Telegraph.
Like apartments?
Much smaller.
what city?
Pontiac.
Okay.
What do you mean you sold rooms?
Well,
Like you literally.
I would say, Nicole, you're under arrest. That's the
Oh.
jail.
He worked at the jail.
Oh,
No, I was,
okay.
I was a state trooper.
I'm like you just threw me for a loop. I'm thinking like you're selling apartments. That's why I was like, okay, where are we going with
Right.
this? Like, are we selling apartments?
He's saying the address. I'm like, I don't know really anything
I don't
about
know
Pontiac.
anything about
Oh, that-
1200 North
okay.
Telegraph.
So you were
Is
a
that
state
a jail?
trooper.
What's that?
Is that a jail?
Yeah.
He was a state trooper.
What the hell? You just threw another curveball. Like, I don't even know if we have a much
This
time
makes sense
to
why
talk.
you can't embarrass him.
No
Or-
shit.
You
offend
kind
him.
of look like a
He
state
literally,
trooper.
I have to say
Yeah.
this. He walked up and said, "There's nothing you could do to embarrass me," or like, we all were like 1200 North. Oh, those are apartment complex. Okay,
Right.
you're
Yeah.
How long were you a
you
state
were
trooper?
well, you were a state trooper. Or?
For how long?
21 and
Or
a
are
half
you
years.
still?
No, I'm not. No.
Shut up!
Wow. So that
You were
was
throwing curveballs. We haven't even gotten to
During
real estate
college?
yet. You were in.
after college.
We're not supposed to talk
We're
about
not.
real estate.
There hasn't. But all this shit that you're throwing at us, we're talking military, state trooper.
We gotta
and-
ask you a question.
Holy
What's
moly!
the most wildest state trooper
Yeah.
story?
Oh yeah, I'm here for it.
Gotta hear that.
What category?
You
Whichever
whatever.
was the wildest one.
One that just sticks out.
Oh,
in
he
your
was in
mind.
Pontiac, so what's gonna be?
Well, I was, so I was out of the Metro North Post and Groveland and over in Romeo. We'd come down to Highland Park here, and just when Granholm era, when the state wasn't doing very well, but we would jump around. So if I had my partner, he always reminds me of some little thing because you forget a lot of that stuff. You don't realize how much that's like. That became. After I'm out, I'm like, my God, I lived an abnormal, because I worked midnights most of my life, most of my career, excuse me. And you just, after all, it became normal. Like, what my wife would ask me, like, so, what happened? Nothing. Except for one time I came home with I forgot to take it off, my hospital bracelet, because I got injured in the leg by somebody shooting at
Said
me.
I
So
forgot to take off.
I forgot to take it off, and I was like, it's just an outpatient thing, no big deal, So,
Just got shot in the leg.
yeah. it
No
was-
big deal.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, I still lived. So, really, I did, So, I mean, if you were to talk about, I don't know, give
How did
me
you
a
get
topic.
shot in the leg? Why don't
Did you get
tell
shot in the
that story?
leg?
I did, kind of. It was
How
like,
did
it
you
just
know
took a
that? Did you
ricochet.
know that?
I just said it.
Oh, I
just
did. I
said it.
missed that part. I'm so sorry. I totally missed that part. I'm like, I thought Tyra was in her number sequence. I totally
no.
missed it. You got shot in the leg.
Yeah, well, not really. It kind of ricocheted, and I got, close to my leg, and
What happened?
just going up to a house that you suspect, like everything else. You just go in there like it's nothing, no big deal. Then everything just goes off the hook, just
Okay,
off
liar.
because you're like, I'm just walking here for a suspicious thing, and that's what you get called there for, and things just get.
What was the suspicious thing?
They had her son. She kicked him out of the house because he was 18. She was banging on the door, and well, he wasn't supposed to be there. I surprised him, and then I got surprised.
Yeah.
We still got him, so no big
You
deal.
got him. Okay.
No big deal. No big deal. He was shot
So
in the
he
leg.
shot you
No big deal.
Yep.
The 18-year-old.
purposely?
I don't know. He's never admitted to it, but it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
the criteria.
still happened.
The criteria is the criteria, right? Because
Yeah.
it wasn't like there was intention you planned on doing it. That'd be first degree, right? So
Yeah.
so
Holy.
so here I guess
moly.
a
This story
a
is
funny
going crazy.
story. Maybe it's a funny story. I don't know. So there was this thing called the Royal Inn on 8 Mile Myers in Royal Township, and we got
Oh
called.
yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
it's like the last place that people end up. It's not good. Besides the street, so it's an old Holiday Inn or something like that. So we go there, and this lady was trapped between the bed and the wall. Now you know how hotel rooms are. If you walk in, for example, the bathroom will be immediately on your left, little square box. As soon as you walk, there's double bed. But on that wall right here, there's a little space, and there's a bed. And a lady was trapped in between that. She fell off the bed,
Trap?
and she's stuck.
What?
How she can't push the bed?
The beds don't move, no.
She's stuck?
Yeah, she's stuck. So we go there. Me and my partner go. My partner's as big as I am. And we go there, and of course EMT is there.
What was she? large?
I'll show you. I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I don't want to be disrespectful in any way, but I'm trying to think, how do you get stuck?
Yeah, she's a big girl. I'll just tell you, she ended up being a big girl.
Between the
But we didn't know that, you know. I assume because we know how big the gap is because we've been in a hotel room, like the reason why she's stuck there. So we get there and EMT is there with us. And what I thought was funny. So me and my partner, we always post up on either side of the door because we're in this place that you go there for
Right.
one thing, something else. And we're on the side in this, so you got this older like EMT guy, ambulance guy. You just reminded like he like would smoke. He wasn't smoking a cigar, but just like one of those. Oh my God, you know, just be like one of those like walking up, you know, big old belly. This ain't nothing, you know. And then there's this young girl. She was probably like just got out of EMT school, ponytail. She looked really cute in her outfit. She walked up this far for the door, bang, 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 bang. And we're posted up, and we're just like. And the guy is EMT guy's like, darling, you see those two guys right there? Why don't you get your ass back here? And she's like, in reality, we're like, where she's at? Because all she's like, oh my God. So we knock on the door. The guy's like, who is it? I'm like, it's the police. What do you want? You called us.
We're here for a reason.
Don't you have somebody say, yeah, I do. So I don't got any clothes on. And I'm like,
Oh Lord.
I'm like, open the bleeping door. Let's get this over with. Get in. She doesn't have any clothes on.
Oh,
She's laying
stuck
there
naked.
and she's lifting her leg up. I can't get out.
Oh Lord.
And
my
we're like,
goodness.
we're like sitting there going, and we're like, my. I mean, this is like probably not a very good moment. And she's just like, get me out. And she's, you know, cussing at us and stuff because we're doing everything wrong. And we haven't done it yet. So we just deadlift her out, right? Road rash. I said, we'd look at the little girl.
So you called the police for that? Like
Oh, yeah.
911? Like they called 911?
I mean, she had to be.
People call the police
Pretty
for
stuck.
for the
everything.
dumbest things. Yeah.
For everything.
Like my eye hurts. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I had a friend who was an EMT. He told me this story about how this man was in a hot tub, died in the hot tub. He went back because I don't know if the neighbor must have called the cops, whatever. This man's body melted in the hot tub.
What?
It could get hot.
Like,
I don't know if it
That's how
melted,
he
but,
died?
yeah.
Disintegrated, like in the hot tub.
It wouldn't disintegrate, but he would be mushy.
Yeah.
he would be mushy.
I'm laughing. That's probably sad. Hopefully, the people that saw this are not listening. But
Yeah.
it's my self-defense mechanism.
No,
just so-
but you
probably
do
used
have
to it.
to. You're
I have
probably
had
so
steroids.
used
No,
to
just
it.
kidding.
Was there any like
Oh
story
my
to do with a
gosh.
child or anything that like really affected
What
you?
prepares you
No.
for this?
No.
No,
The army.
Is it does
Yeah,
the
the
army
army.
pay,
I
like?
think people are predisposed to whether or not, because some people would like say you'd see somebody. I remember before I left the force that we get hauled to somebody who hung themselves, right? Decided his life was no longer wanted on this planet.
so like.
I know,
carelessly.
like yeah.
It happens, but it happens though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a part of life, right?
Yeah, it does.
I mean, and he just decided he didn't want to be on this planet anymore,
Unfortunately.
and so he's in there. And as we walk up, the brothers are there. He comes out. The brother comes out screaming, you know, he's all upset, you know, and you go in there, and his brother's hanging. And so you can't do anything because of Jack Kevorkian. You gotta wait for the other people to come out, and you treat everything like a murder. If you remember Jack Kevorkian, that changed how Oakland County treats these things.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, what do you mean?
How did that
because
change
of
it?
Jack Kevorkian? What?
Because with assisted suicides, everything had to be treated as a murder until you had it. I mean, most of them are, don't get me wrong, any other place they are. So before somebody probably corrects me on it. But you had to like really, really go through everything. Like
Okay.
even so much as like say if a person had pancreatic cancer, once they find out, probably 6 months later they'll die, right?
Right.
Because of pancreatic cancer, pancreas.
It's aggressive.
It's about the most essential organ
Yeah.
in your body. I mean, all are, but you're going to be
It's
wasted.
aggressive.
You're going to be wasted away in about 6 months.
Correct.
And so even then, even though they know this is happening and they deteriorate, you still got to go in and treat it like a murder, right?
So
Because-
even with something,
Everything is treated like a murder.
I was gonna say even
I mean,
with
most of
something
them
like
are. Don't
that.
get me wrong. Most of them are right in any other place,
Okay.
but because of that,
Oh,
we have to make sure you really document all the things. Anyway,
and that's only here,
Oakland County,
Oakland County. Only
Yeah.
Oakland County.
because they, they had to go through it with him. But
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
What was that story? I don't remember.
Kevorkian was a doctor, and he was going around, and Fighter defended him. That's how
I
he got his
remember that.
popularity.
You don't
And-
remember that? Like,
No.
oh my, assisted suicide. Like,
Yeah.
He,
Like,
he
people
was
had-
huge.
He would he would go through and interview people, like, and get to people that would have debilitating diseases, to the fact that they were going to, like pancreatic cancer, instead of being wasted away and tortured, they would just he had a gaseous thing, and he helped them just die, like you do euthanization, like a dog.
It was like
dog.
human, like human euthanization, and it was but it was like not agreed to, like how do I say this? Like,
It's against the law in Michigan.
it's against the
And the
law,
United
but the
States.
people that
Not-
were doing it wanted it to happen.
Right.
So they would go to him, and like,
he would do it for
his
them.
name was Jack Kevorkian, and it was huge. Like, oh my gosh, it was for years. Like, and Jeffrey Feiger, representative, and it was assisted suicide. Like, and that's what they called him. But they originally charged him with murder, right?
Every
Like,
single time.
They charged. So they said that he was murdering people, even though these
He is
people.
agreed to
by
it.
But
law.
you
Agreed to
are
it.
you are murdering somebody. You're
But
By
they
law,
want it
he
to
is
be.
murdering somebody.
Yeah.
And even by morality, he is murdering somebody by the definition of everything,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Like now, they're I think in Michigan, somebody tried passing the bill recently of euthanization, because other countries allow it.
Yeah.
I think Canada does, but
They did. Oh, I didn't know that.
I know other ones like in Europe do. So it's a family thing, but.
So you had to go through this whole process when you went into this crime scene
Well, so-
because of that.
What we were saying is that the initial question was, how do you not have that bother you in prison?
Yeah.
And some people don't. So the brother comes running, screaming out, because his the living
Yeah.
brother comes.
Yeah.
So the other trooper's there, and this trooper didn't respond to that very well. Some find out after the fact, after they see a body or something bad. They. It's just. It's not like I had a decision whether I was going to be tough about it or not. It is what it is, right? So.
I don't know if you ever, I mean, I don't know if I could ever get to a point where I'd be like,
Every single day
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
going through it, it just becomes a normal
I
thing.
commend you.
It
because
wasn't
it's-
every single day.
But
so.
but it's such a different mental state that I commend you, and I give you grace and praise for, because I don't know.
I don't do that anymore.
But you did for 20 something years.
but it wasn't every day. So think about
But
it.
there's different level of being a part of that world. So kudos to you, because I think that it's a whole nother world that I don't know if people even understand what that's about.
So, you have a partnership with Real Producers
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
kind of
Change
put
it up.
on a
not
softer
be,
note.
not be so
Then
morbid.
someone hanging
we're moving
from-
from the morbid
Because
to
we
the
had so many
positive.
more. I've done so many more fun, exciting things than
We
seeing
didn't
a
even get
dead
into
body.
those.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
how's that relationship been?
I mean, I just started, so it's been fine. I mean, I go to the meetings and stuff like that. Yeah.
Any events or anything?
I do. I go to the events. I shake hands with people and, put on my best smile.
Okay.
I usually figure I'm more intimidating, so I don't think and it's not like I get people following.
Now we get it about
And
the
when
When we
intimidating
go to
part.
the
Intimidating
events
is
and we
full
see you,
force.
we're gonna make sure that
Yeah.
So,
We say-
because I get that, so I like, for example, like I'll knock on like 100 doors per month. I make sure I do that right. And one agent said to me, it was about a couple weeks ago, I said, I would never answer the door if you came to my door. I said, well, thank you. So what do you say to that? I'm like,
Well, thank you.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't know. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay. It's the face my mother gave me, so I don't know what I can do.
How did you transition though from being a cop to a real estate agent?
As I said, I sold rooms and I sold tickets. I mean,
Okay.
for being a police officer, I have to go and deliver, here I go morbid, deliver death messages, or I get to go tell somebody I saved something, that I actually ran in and I got them, or I pulled them out of a car, or I helped them on Thanksgiving Day. People were breaking down, and I remember like the car would be considered a car assist. Get in. I'm getting you your Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner if I was working. And they're like, do you have to speed? I said, no, but I choose to,
Yeah.
Wow.
trying to get them to where they got to go,
Yeah.
because they're broke down, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you think about the guy you meet at 2:00 in the morning. I was near the Palace when the Palace was still open. He's a 93-year-old man, and he got lost at 9 a.m. From Kalamazoo because he has dementia.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, we're going to get you home.
Yeah.
Because somebody's obviously looking for you, right?
Yeah.
So there isn't always this bad stuff.
Right.
All that stuff I'm telling you, this is highlights what I was telling you about 21 years.
Yeah.
Most stuff is just like that. It's just a
Good
car
stuff.
assist,
Such
something.
an incredible story, though. Like, and I think we would all love to dive into this so much more. And
Sure.
and I appreciate your authenticity, because that's something you talked about before we started. But I think the transition from being like military, state trooper, police to real estate is, I don't really know if we've ever had that before, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, have we ever really had a
No.
story like this before?
We've never had a
never had
state
a cop.
trooper.
We've never
so-
had. I don't think we've ever had a state trooper before.
Well, it
I want
works
to hear
well.
like
because
state trooper
want-
stories.
aren't you
I can
like,
listen
aren't
to
you
all
really
night.
serving, making sure that they're going to get through the thing, everything okay?
Yeah, but this, I feel like they're totally opposite ends of the spectrum, but yet somehow you correlated them together.
So if you take during negotiations, be on the other side, then I'm calling the realtor, and I want to get a better price. I've convinced people to go away for a long time, following
Yeah.
the rules, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to negotiate with you.
So my very first negotiation had to be my neighbor's property, and she still gets me today. Because my neighbor, okay, so I sold my neighbor's house. They were there forever. And my new neighbor, who we talked about, she was like, I thought the whole time the owners didn't want to do it. And after she knew me a while, because I talk about real estate, negotiating, and getting prices and everything like that, she goes, that was you.
Yeah.
You're the one that didn't want to go down on price. You're the reason why I'm paying more. I said, yeah, but I didn't work for you. I said, that's not my fault. Your agent talked for 6 hours, and all I did was work on her and found out the little
Lord.
things about her. And then I used that, without talking about real estate,
Yeah.
to determine what would be the smartest thing for us to work with to get your clients into a
I'm
house.
like
And she surrendered
So
her
true.
permission.
Yeah.
Psychology.
It's
Yep.
psychology.
She
There's
surrendered
your
her
psychology.
permission to get her clients into that house. I said, if you think that's the best thing to
If
do.
only the client knew what her agent did.
Wow, there's your psychology
There are some
degree.
agents though that literally
Yeah.
lay it all on the table.
Yeah,
Oh,
You just
yes,
have
they
to
do.
ask
why
her
you
one
shouldn't
question.
do that.
That gives you ammo to
Yeah.
deal with the situation.
Yeah.
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 If I know something about you, if I can figure out what's something that makes you tick, think about it. It's what you do. When I come in with anybody, the first thing you're going to do is like one of the most powerful questions, even your question on here. What is something
We don't
about
even
people
know
that
what those
don't
are.
know? I would never answer that question.
Why?
Why?
Because he doesn't want to
You're
give.
gonna give
Because
it
it's
away.
gonna give him ammo against
Well,
something
never
else.
do that.
And it's
He's a
funny
listing
because
agent on a
But
house.
he
I would
said
never
as
do
an
that.
agent, he would never answer that
Oh,
question.
okay.
I
But
would
that's,
never do
that's
that.
like Tyra's
But-
normal question.
Yeah.
Like
I would
that's
never
like
do
her
it.
usual question.
I
Like what is something?
lie. Or I will lie. I will divert it someplace.
But-
There's something
Oh
you don't
my
know.
gosh!
He's
My
playing
God.
poker with him.
Ask that question.
What?
Now.
No, we don't want to ask it now because we know he's,
He's
not
gonna
going to
play
tell the
chess.
truth.
He's gonna play chess instead of
He's
checkers.
gonna play exactly.
Yeah.
That
So to become a really good person in negotiations, as you know, when I was at Central, there's a place called Listener, which is a crisis call, and I was
Okay.
volunteer of the week. So if you want to learn how to talk to people, and you're interested in negotiation, go volunteer at a call center.
So you did that purposely.
I did that purposely.
Wait, call center for what?
Like people call
Crisis center.
crisis, so somebody wants to
Yes.
call up, they're having trouble.
that
so you
is
sit there.
amazing.
And every negotiator that ever wants to be a negotiator.
I'm like so enlightened by it. Why are you laughing at
So you
me?
volunteered for a week so that you can master the craft.
I don't think I
It's
would
more
come
than a
out of
week.
it
You
being
would
the
go home
same.
crying.
I would. That's what I just
I
did.
would
I was
too.
saying that before you did. I don't think I would come out with
But
the
that
same
was
mental
truly
state. But
intentional.
that is genius. But why you?
There's
Husband.
actual,
My husband's like
in the
laughing at me
military.
right now.
There are negotiators where they negotiate with other countries,
Absolutely.
and those guys are.
That's what I'm
do that
saying.
too, did
There
you?
has to be something within you that is built. No, my husband's shaking his head. No, you have to admit there.
Well, he is a 9.
He's a
So he's been
Not-
here a
not
lot
a
of
10?
times.
Did I missed the one more?
I get it.
I mean,
He's a
my
9.
personality should be able to put
I
it over to 10. What do
totally
you think?
get why you're a 9.
And he's analytical.
and he's analytical.
You've
so you
been
have
here so
like
many
everything that you
times.
explained.
And I have good dad jokes too.
You do? Yeah. Oh my
Nines
gosh.
are the very
Our-
last.
All right,
So you've
give us
been
one.
here.
Time out, because our 11-year-old, our 11-year-old is the master of dad jokes. So if you can give us, like, I would love to go home and tell my 11-year-old a master dad joke because she would think I'm the most amazing mom ever.
All right,
So end
ready
it with the
for it.
master dad joke.
Yes.
All right, so I had to do this for my middle daughter who was always angry. So I said, I gave her 2 dad jokes a day for like a year, literally. So
year?
one day she walked in, I said, yeah, because
a
I
lot.
get focused on things, trust me.
We can see
What-
that.
like
It's evident.
Right. So I get focused on it. I walked in, she walked in, and I said, hey, Courtney, you like my new shoes? Look at these. You like them? She's like, you know, I don't care about your shoes. I said, look at these, but I seem to be having a problem, I swear. I think I got them off a drug dealer. And she's like, and I have to follow her because she's walking. I said, I mean, I think I did get them off a drug dealer because they're clearly laced and I've been tripping all day.
Oh my god.
Does
she
love
laugh?
that one?
Yeah,
Babe,
on that one I saw her
you
laugh.
saw her.
and she
You
was
saw.
like, yeah.
You need to remember that. Zoe's gonna like. Our daughter
Is
is.
Zoe gonna understand that?
Okay, so here's another
Okay,
one.
give us another
Yeah,
one because that is a good
yeah.
valid point, Brooke. Thank you for knowing my daughter.
I think she's a little too young.
She might not know that, but she is like
Okay,
her and
here's-
her dad jokes are unbelievable.
Here's one that I did on the first day of school, going into junior year. I remember this. So I walked. She was doing stuff. I said, "Hey, got all your school stuff?" We had this like calendar. It's dry erase board, and I'm pointing at it. Of course, I have to follow. And I'm like, "Hey, you see a calendar there?" I said, "My God, you got your stuff?" He goes, "Yes, Dad. Yeah." I said, "Man, I feel so sorry for that calendar. Aren't you sorry for it?" And she's blowing me off. You know, aren't you sorry for? I said, "Man," she's like, "Why don't you leave me alone?" I said, "I just feel so sorry for that calendar because clearly its days are numbered." Then she tries to get into the refrigerator. I said, "Stop!" And I yell at it because it's right after that. "Stop! What are you doing?" And I'm like, "You got to knock on that refrigerator before you get in there." I said, "There could be a salad dressing. You kidding me?"
Oh my lord. A salad dressing.
Yeah, that's just something you put on a salad. It's
Oh,
not,
I
it's
know.
not
I
like
know.
really.
Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh! I cannot wait. You're gonna have to do it, Zoe.
That's funny.
You
That's a
have,
good
no,
one.
but you gotta remember the salad
salad
dressing.
dressing.
The salad
Yeah,
dressing, because our daughter eats salads all the time. So when she goes in the fridge, you have to yell. Oh my
You
god!
gotta
be a
play it up.
salad.
Zoe's
You
too
know, you gotta
young to
play it.
watch this podcast. She is like,
Slam the door. Stop! Oh my God, what are you doing?
there could be a
That could
salad.
be a salad dressing.
God, there could be a salad
I'm
dressing in
totally
there.
gonna
So
use that.
embarrassing. Could you imagine the embarrassment on me and the salad? Just go on and on. She's like,
I love it. Like she,
That's so funny.
some of her dad jokes, I shake my head. I'm like, where did you get this?
Google.
They're YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
She literally
Or
will
TikTok.
YouTube
Oh.
short dad jokes
I'm gonna have to do that.
she will
Dad
walk
jokes.
around.
That's what I gotta do.
Probably
Our
good on
11-year-old
TikTok.
will walk around with the worst
I'm
jokes.
gonna name this dad
ever.
jokes on
Yeah.
YouTube
You
Shorts.
have to.
Zoe will see it.
Zoe will see it,
Dad
but
jokes.
no, Zoe, don't take the dad because I don't want her to see the dad jokes. She might not.
Most
get it.
importantly, before we go,
Oh my gosh,
how
it's
did
so
you
funny.
get 2 dad jokes a day for a
Yeah.
year? Where did you get this
find
stuff
that?
from?
I bought a book,
Oh, okay.
and then I did the YouTube short things for that.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. William Pay,
That's
you
a
have
good
stepped
laugh.
up. You have to get your dad jokes up because
I'm in that
Zoe,
book.
you
needs
have
a
to. You have
book.
to share books.
Yeah.
She is our dad joke. She comes home all the time, and I'm like, okay, so I'm ready. Ready.
Yeah.
Because some
All
of them
right,
are
So,
crazy.
any final questions that you guys have?
What would you tell your younger self?
Oh, that's easy. Be patient.
It shouldn't be easy.
Yeah, but it's not just be patient. It's also enjoy the journey. So when I was doing Ironman triathlons, right? So you learn really quickly that it's not about finishing the race. You know, it's 140.6 miles that you're going to go through. It's the training, the fact that you could do it. And you
Yeah.
have so much time in your life and you're wasting it by being on TV. Live in the present, have your goals. And when you go on and do something, like I climbed a 14,000 foot mountain called Long's Peak.
Whoa.
So you go and do stuff like that because it's out there. Take the time to do stuff like that. And, you know, I can go on and on. There's just so many different things that you want to do in your life. And if you're wasting it mostly in front of a screen like a moth to a porch light, you know,
Yeah.
that's wasteful.
Yeah.
Get out there and do it. But be living in the present. Don't waste your life. Because I did that when I was younger. I can't wait till I get this. I can't wait till I get that.
Yeah.
And all you do is then you're like, you're living through somebody else's authority instead of your own.
Yeah.
Instead of creating your own path. That's what I would do.
Love it.
I think that's like the biggest thing I'm taking away from this is living within your own authority.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Amazing.
We're gonna end off asking this question. What is your tip for negotiations?
Ooh.
Give us your best tip.
Oh my God, that's because it depends on how it's laid out. So, you know, all you have to do is listen to them.
I knew you were gonna say that.
If you listen to them and kind of keep going back to them and find out the reason, and it's how you state the question. So you either, if you don't jump in with a why statement because it's accusatory, start in with a how. The
Yeah.
how question. How are we going to do this?
Yeah.
Because then that solicits emotion, and when you get emotion, then the analytics shut off.
So
And by the
how
analytics shut off,
instead
the
of
numbers
why?
shut off, and now we start
Yeah.
adding emotion to it. Then it becomes not about you; it's about the experience. Many realtors are about the experience, not about trying to get the money or trying to do what's best. They want to try to get this experience, but it's so you try to get that experience with the other agent. Because for me to get to their client, I have to go through them. They're the gateway, right? And that's how you get through it.
So
You do
you're
the best
calling
that-
me? I'm the listing agent. Ring, ring, ring.
If you're the listing agent,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, sure.
All right.
So
Hello.
I think I don't know what I would say, but just like.
How can I help you?
Yeah, pretty much. So
Well, you're the
How-
buyer's agent.
that's
You're the
a how-
buyer's
Oh,
the
I'm
agent.
the buyers and I'm
agents.
I'm the
calling.
listing
oh.
agent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You're trying to get information
Oh,
on me.
absolutely. So I would say, I'm sorry, who am I speaking with?
This is Brooke Jones with the XP Realty. How can I help you?
Your first name again, I'm sorry?
Brooke?
Brooke. Nice. Hey, Brooke, so you got this house that's on for sale. Can you tell me about it?
Which house? I've got multiple listings.
Thank you. Very good. But I was talking about 123 Main Street.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What about it?
Well, tell me about it. Do you know
hate
anything
for
about this?
sale.
This is your
We've got
listing.
lots of offers on it.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, so you haven't accepted one, so none of them are worth anything, correct?
We're actually waiting until tomorrow to accept the final offer, so I'm going to review them with my client tomorrow.
Okay, how is that process going?
We haven't started it yet. We're going to do it tomorrow.
You just said you did, though.
No, we're reviewing them tomorrow.
Oh, but what do you think about them?
I think they're great. I think if your client wants to come in pretty solid, then you may have a chance,
Are you
but
going to be at the office tomorrow?
I'm going to be at my client's house tomorrow.
Okay, when will you be at your office?
I'll be in my office after meeting with my client tomorrow.
Can you be there before so we can talk about this?
You can talk with me right now.
I can't talk about it right now. I'd rather talk in person. I have the offer right here. Is there some reason why we can't meet? I have a valid offer.
Gotcha. I've never met with an agent before about an offer, but I'm sure we could.
Does that occlude you from doing it? I'm sorry. What was that?
I'm sitting here listening.
I can see another agent just hanging
No,
out.
beep. Because I'm
I
just
have a
saying to
valid
Brooke.
offer.
Yeah.
I have a valid offer. Does that occlude you from meeting with me?
No.
Thank you.
Is there any reason you can't email the offer?
Would 5 p.m. work good for you?
See, he's
I'm
the
sorry,
person
I'm
that
talking to
sets the
her, not you.
appointment. Do you know that I actually called a listing agent? He texted me, sorry, I don't answer calls about this property, text only.
Then you know what I would say?
What would you
Is there
say?
any way that I can get a hold of your client that we can talk about this?
Like
He just ignore. Like people just ignore.
But you were like on spot with your answers, but I could see where you were going.
Did she pause?
Yeah.
That mean I had her. I just called her name. I went back to my biblical. How do I get you to stop? If I walked down and you're walking the other way and I said, Nicole, you would stop.
I would say.
I got her to stop.
Commanded authority.
Yeah.
Or,
I didn't even realize
whatever.
I didn't even
Did
know.
Oh,
she
you
stop?
asked- he said,
How
what
long
was
do you
your
think
first
she
name?
stopped for?
Yeah.
He said, what was your name
She
again?
got your attention.
I said, Brooke. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he got your attention.
Oh my God.
He had
only
you
reason-
in control for
The
that
only
moment.
reason why I want to meet with her, because I'm better in interview in person than I am over the phone.
Yeah.
And if I
So
can,
you know your strength.
absolutely.
So
I
Do
would
you
walk-
really meet
Do
in
you
person?
do that?
I will. Yes.
Oh,
If I
wow.
feel like it's going to be a tough negotiation, I will.
I'm doing that.
Because the reason why
That's
is
like
you.
clutch right there.
And then you could chase that other realtor if it's you make sure you have no barrier. They cannot hide behind a barrier. And you just do this a little bit and start talking about the deal. You will chase them to the other side of the room.
And you could say, I have an offer that you're not going to resist.
If not, I will put a horse head in your bed.
All right, well, you heard it
Wow.
here.
Yeah.
This is how you negotiate.
Yeah.
So exciting.
So any
Thank
agents
you.
listening in, take some advice from Steve over here.
Yeah.
No.
Or don't
Don't-
don't
Don't take the
negotiate with
secret.
Steve because you're not gonna win.
This is all lies. I just
The
made this up as
master
I go.
negotiator.
Well, you never know if it's a lie or not.
You know.
You just never know.
So thank you guys for tuning back into the Realist People in Real Estate podcast. We will see you next week.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye bye guys.
Bye. Thank you.
That was good.
That was really good.
I was uncomfortable. I was like, what is she gonna say next?